You're right, Man United fans, it's time for the tippler. Hello, it's the Tippler 3848, and that was my attempt at a Manchester accent, and yes, it is that horrible. I lived there for 4 months, and yes, it's that bad. But, let's go through your starting 11. David De Gea, as far as I'm aware, he's still there at the minute. If he's still there next Saturday, he's got to play. I'm sure he'll keep his professionalism, but I hear that Real Madrid is still circling, he's probably going to go whatever. Back four, Daley Blind, Marcus Rojo, Smalling and Darmian for me. Daley Blind and Darmian pretty much pick themselves, you've got no one better. Rojo and Smalling, same thing, you've just got no one better. Smalling is a penalty waiting to happen for me, the way he jostles people at corners, free kicks and any dead ball situation. Rojo for me is a red card waiting to happen. I remember a couple of games against Arsenal last season, he had to be taken off while he had a yellow card and then had made 2 or 3 other challenges. So I'm not a fan of Marcus Rojo, I'll say, but he is a red card waiting to happen for you guys. One of your new signings, Schweinsteiger, and your other new signing, Schneiderlin, they make up the CDM. I think if they get a good partnership and a good understanding, they could work really well. If one of them goes forward, the other one sits in behind, then that's going to work really well. They just have to get that communication right so they don't both bomb forward or they don't both sit back. So for me, it would be Schweinsteiger doing the bombing, Schneiderlin obviously sitting. But Schneiderlin scored a lot of goals and set up a lot of goals for Southampton last season. So, you know, as long as they get that working, that could work really well for you. I've got Ander Herrera on the right-hand side. I don't know why Luis Van Gaal hasn't started him more. Every time he comes on in a game, he changes the outlook of it completely. His passing range and even his shooting is fantastic. I believe it was him who came on and got your consolation goal when Arsenal beat you at Old Trafford in the FA Cup. So that is the kind of thing that he can do. And then we've got Walking in Memphis. That's all I can hear every time I hear his name in my head. So I'm not going to watch too many Man United games next season. No. Just kidding. I'm really interested to see how Depay is going to get on. He's a fantastic player. He is quick, he's skillful. He's only 20 years of age, which kind of surprised me. I knew he was young. I thought he was 21, 22. But he's actually 20 years of age. So I'm interested to see how he gets on in England. Juan Mata for me in your cam. Not really anyone better. You were playing Fellaini there at points last season. But I think that was just because you had to. But just remember what Juan Mata did at Anfield, or Juanfield as you guys dubbed it, which I actually found really amusing. Fair play to the Man United fans on that one. For me, up front, it's got to be Wayne Rooney. You've got no one else anyway. I think Hernandez is going to be moving on, which for me and your team, that is a big mistake. And you've obviously got rid of Robin van Trater. So it doesn't really matter. Rooney's probably going to be the guy starting up front unless you bring somebody in. But for me, why aren't you playing him up front? He's a 20-goal-a-year striker. If you've got a decent team sort of behind him, which you've got a decent starting 11, your squad will get onto. But he will get you goals out of nothing. He's just that kind of player. Sadly, not so much for England in the big occasions, but for me, Wayne Rooney plays a striker. That seems really simple in my brain, but your managers don't tend to just not agree with that, so we'll see what happens. I think Valdez is still there at the minute, but I'm going to pop your new signing Romero in, who you have brought in from Sampdoria. I don't know where he fits in. It obviously depends what happens to De Gea and Valdez, but he's not good enough to be a number one for me. He's basically sat on the bench at Sampdoria and before that Monaco, so I don't know why Man United have signed him. Tyler Blackett, he's good if you need an own goal. Fellaini, no, it was the league game that Ander Herrera scored in, sorry, against Arsenal. And then you got Fellaini on the bench. Phil Jones' face, just because I don't know. His face amuses me, that's about it. Januzaj Young, who is rumoured to be signing a new contract, and Antonio Valencia on the bench as well. Your squad, though, is really thin. You really, really need to sign more players and stop signing midfielders. You don't need any more. You've got enough midfielders. You need everything else, pretty much, but I'm going to get onto that in my transfers, so we're going to stop it here and go to your upgrades and downgrades. So it is time for your upgrades. Upgrades I have chosen, as you can see, is David De Gea and Memphis Depay. Mainly De Gea, I don't have to say anything about him. Everyone knows how well he did last season. 43 appearances, 40 goals conceded and 13 clean sheets. And most of those clean sheets were just down to him. Your defenders gave him absolutely no shielding whatsoever. So that 13 really is down to De Gea. I remember the game at Arsenal in the Emirates where he made 4, 5, 6 outstanding saves, one-on-ones, shooting from outside the box, everything. And he's really sort of bulked up a little bit as well, which is good for him. And that has worked in your favour. 85 to an 86, because he's not a Courtois. I'd put him above Petr Cech at this moment in time, but if Petr Cech shows any of the form he showed yesterday in a Community Shield, he is going to be in the team of the season. Mark my words. But we're talking about United. So Depay, obviously this was in the Eredivisie last season. He has got 40 appearances, 28 goals and 8 assists. Fantastic record, so I've put him up to an 81. For your downgrades, we've got Phil Jones' face. He's put him down to a 77. For me, he's never a 79 rated defender. He played 24 times. He was plagued a little bit by injury. 23 goals conceded while he was at centre back and 3 yellow cards. This is going to be unpopular, I know, but just wait and let me explain. Wayne Rooney down to an 84. Considering he's an 86 in FIFA 15 and Sergio Aguero is an 87, that is ridiculous in itself. He's nowhere near the grade of Aguero, absolutely not. And 37 appearances, 14 goals and 6 assists. Now, I know what you're going to say, he's usually doing sort of a spot for the team, he's working for the team, he's doing this and that for the team, but he's a striker in my mind, and that's why I'm marking him down. Absolutely, if he had played striker all season long, I think he would have done better and his stats would look a lot better. But for me, Rooney just didn't kind of do what he has done in previous seasons for Man United. Not his fault. He's been utilised in a number of different ways, and the team behind him last season wasn't the best. So I expect him to have a much better season this season as your main striker. So finally, your transfers, Man United fans. Basically, for my mind, you need to strengthen everywhere but midfield, because your midfield is pretty packed. Obviously on the bench you've got Fellaini and you've got young Januzaj, Valencia. I didn't even mention Michael Carrick, so you know, you've got people there. You've got lots of centre-backs. You've got Johnny Evans, you have got Tyler Blackett, you've got Phil Jones, you've got Rojo, you've got Smalling, but none of them have the quality that you see at Man United, in my opinion, because I grew up obviously in sort of the 90s, watching the 90s United and the 2000s United, and you never would have seen the players like you've got there at the moment there. So you've been linked with John Stones. I don't see that one happening. Chelsea seems to be his destination if he goes anywhere at all, but if you decide to throw a gut load of money at them, who knows what could happen. Sergio Ramos has obviously done a massive U-turn. There was the whole thing, I want to come to Man United, and then he went and signed a new contract. I think he's just used you there to get some more money. And Otamendi is another name that just keeps coming round and round and round and round. So you'll have to watch the space on that one. You probably need a couple more strikers, that's pretty obvious. The ones you've been linked with, Pedro, apparently you've been linked with Lewandowski. I would hope if he's available, Arsenal throw as much money at him as possible. Everyone's been linked with Edinson, Cavani, and one I've seen you linked with, and Arsenal not, is Thomas Müller of Bayern Munich. So I don't want him at Arsenal. I don't think he's that great. He always plays really well for Germany, but he fits well in that system. So Man United fans, who the hell would you like to see come into your squad? Your first 11 is pretty solid. You probably need a decent centre-back to add to that, but your squad is not good. Your overall squad, if you look at Arsenal, Chelsea and Man City, your squad, because those, obviously you came 4th last season, so those are the 3 teams you are looking to break into. Is your squad as good as ours? No. Is it as good as Chelsea? No. Man City? No. So you need to add something just below your kind of starting 11. Players who are going to be happy to kind of sit on the bench, come on and make an impact. Or add a player to your starting 11, put somebody in your starting 11 on the bench. So, who do you think you should get? This is the Tippler. I'm not a Man United fan. I hope I've been as neutral as possible and not negative, but I just don't think you've got a great squad. And that's just truthful. That's not me being sort of insulting to your club. But this is the Tippler out. If you have enjoyed, if you throw me a like. If you've not enjoyed, I mean, you can throw me a dislike. The Scouse fans did that because I took the piss out of Stevie G. So that's fine. I got 2 dislikes on that. My first dislike, woo! It's all good. I enjoy, pissing people off sometimes, especially with football. It's easily done. But yeah, come leave me a couple of comments. See what do you think. And I'm going to keep plugging it in every video till I get to 500 subs. I'm giving away a blue snowball, so go and watch my Five Nights at Freddy's video. Comment on my stuff that you want the snowball mainly, and let me know. So I'm gonna leave it there. So Tippler out.